Welcome to 6 to 8 Minutes. For the sake of Tourette's Awareness Month, we will be interviewing two doctors who are experts on neurological disorders such as Tourette syndrome. Here today I have Dr. Ropus and Dr. Garducci to speak with us today about Tourette syndrome. Okay, so Dr. Ropus, what is the history of Tourette syndrome?
Well, in 1885, Gillet de la Tourette, in his article, described a patient who suffered from a disorder characterized by involuntary movements and strange, uncontrollable sounds.
What happens in the body of the people who suffer from Tourette's?
Well, it ranges from simple tics to complex tics. Simple motor tics are sudden, brief, repetitive movements that involve a limited number of muscle groups. Some of the common ones are eye blinking and other vision irregularities, facial grimacing, shoulder shrugging, and head or shoulder jerking. Simple vocalizations might include repetitive throat clearing, sniffing, or grunting.
Also, what parts of the body does Tourette's generally affect?
Mostly the eyes, arms, shoulders, hands.
Well, we're going to take a short commercial break, so stay tuned.
Ooh, Butterfinger. My Butterfinger!
Okay, we are back, and welcome to 6 to 8 Minutes. So let's get started. Dr. Garducci, is Tourette's recessive or dominant, and what type of mutation is it?
Earlier studies showed that it was an autosomal dominant mode of inheritance, but newer studies show that it is much more complex than that. It is a genetic tendency triggered by other factors.
Is Tourette's sex-linked, and is there a particular chromosome it is located on?
It is sex-linked, but the exact chromosome location is unknown.
How is this disorder treated? Is there any medication used to help treat Tourette syndrome?
Drugs that block or deplete the neurotransmitter dopamine in the brain are used to control tics. These medications may have side effects such as weight gain and the dulling of the mind.
Is there any gene therapy or occupational therapy to help treat Tourette's?
But no, there is no gene therapy that applies to Tourette syndrome, but there is psychotherapy. In addition to helping you cope with Tourette syndrome, psychotherapy or talk therapy can help with accompanying problems such as ADHD, obsessions, depression, or anxiety.
Glad to hear that this disorder is very treatable. Well, we are going to have another commercial break, so stick around.
Welcome to Sports Center. Tonight the Magic Cup Final start at 8 o'clock with the Orange Crush up against the Blackhawks.
And it's lining up to be a great matchup, Jim, with the Blackhawks' leading scorer, Spiro Ropas, at the top of his game right now.
Phil, but what about the Orange Crush goalkeeper, Michael Amato? He's had one heck of a season. I don't think he's slowing down anytime soon.
Well, either way, it's going to be a great matchup between these two teams, and there's going to be great moments to go along with them, so you better be there.
Welcome back to 6 to 8 Minutes. So, Dr. Ropus, what tests are done to diagnose someone with Tourette's? Is genetic counseling an option?
There's no specific test that can diagnose Tourette syndrome. Instead, doctors must rely on the history of these symptoms to diagnose the disorder. The criteria to diagnose Tourette syndrome include these. Both motor tics and vocal tics must be present, although not necessarily at the same time. Tics occur several times a day, nearly every day, for more than a year. There must not be a break in these tics for more than a 3-month period. The onset of tics occurs before the age of 18. Tics aren't caused by medications, other substances, or another medical condition. Most people with mild symptoms of Tourette's tend to go undiagnosed as their symptoms do not affect day-to-day life. However, if symptoms are serious enough that they hinder routine activities, seeking help and asking for a diagnosis is advised. According to NHS Choices, the first stage of diagnosing Tourette syndrome is to rule out any other conditions that may be causing symptoms. These could be sniffing and causing or blinking more than usual, which can be mistaken for tics.
Will people with Tourette's be able to have kids?
Yes.
Will those children be affected?
Yeah, there's a 50% chance that these kids will be affected.
Well, we're going to take a short commercial break, so stay tuned.
Did you know you could save 15% or more on car insurance if you switch to Geico?
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that you could actually bundle up too much for winter?
It's hot. It's so hot I could just...
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Welcome back to 6 to 8 Minutes. Dr. Garducci has a presentation for us today.
These are some of the disorders that are associated with Tourette syndrome: ADHD, OCD, mood disorders, and executive dysfunction. These are some of the most affected areas in the brain. Both the primary motor cortex and the supplementary motor area are thought to be hyperactive in brains of those with Tourette syndrome, causing the tics, which can be both embarrassing and disruptive, especially for children who often find it difficult to concentrate at school. This is a chart of the most affected areas in the body, such as the hands, the legs, and the feet.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Garducci. Now time to bring out our special guest, Mike Amato. So, Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
How does it feel knowing that you have a rare disease like Tourette's?
Well, you know, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but I get past it.
What is it like going throughout your day with these tic complications?
Well, it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but sometimes it gets in the way and I manage to get past it.
How does your family feel about it?
Well, a lot of them have gotten used to it, but a lot of people like to, look at me a lot.
Do people stare most of the time when you go through these tics?
In public, a lot of people stare because they think something's really wrong with me.
Do people make fun of you?
No, most people stay back. No one really make fun of me.
Well, you seem like a great kid. You were great, and it was a pleasure talking to you and to find more about Tourette's from someone who has it.
You too, thank you.
That is all for tonight's special event for Tourette's Awareness Month. Good night, America.